Hey guys, welcome back to another video from the channel Learn from Basics. This is Joe here, and this is our second video on the series on this channel where we will be learning about Flutter, an app development SDK made by Google. Now, if you don't know what Flutter is and how it works and what it's for and why you should learn it, then I have answered all of those questions in a 10-minute video that I made previously. So go ahead and check that out before we dive into this week's video, today's video, which is Widget Workshop. Now, again, the link to our previous video will be in the card that pops up right now or in the description below. Now, in our last video, we said widgets are everything in a Flutter app. But wait, what are widgets in the first place, you may ask? Well, that's exactly what we're going to discuss today. What are widgets? What are widgets is today's main question. So without any further ado, let's dive into it. Widgets are objects in your app. That's simply it. Widgets are objects in your app. But that doesn't give you that much of an definition, does it? So let's dive in deeper. They are the building blocks that help you build an UI. Now, something that I would compare to this in real life is, for example, you have a toy, a Darth Vader toy, that's a Darth Vader starship or whatever you call it toy, that's made completely out of Legos. Your friend built it and gave it to you. Now, your friend said, "Hey, I made this Darth Vader toy for you. Now, I'm going to give you these Lego blocks. You can do whatever you want with them, but just make it look cooler. And you can keep it if you want." That's what your friend said. So what you can do with this pre-built Darth Vader Lego toy is you can either add some individual blocks, already provided Lego blocks, to your Darth Vader Lego set or a Lego toy in order to make it look cooler. Or you can combine a bunch of already existing Lego blocks in order to create a new gadget that you can add onto the Darth Vader Lego toy. Now, a Flutter app is exactly like that. Flutter developed and gave you the Darth Vader Lego toy, or in this case, the app and all of the building blocks of the app. And the homepage of the app, it gave you the basics of the app. And it gave you the logic that allows you to control each and every pixel on your app, the Flutter SDK. Now, the people at Google said, "Hey, here's your toy, and here are your building blocks. The building blocks are the widgets. You can do whatever you want with them, but just make the app look cooler, and you can keep it." So what you can do is you can use the already pre-built widgets in order to add them to the app, or you can make your own really cool widget using and combining these pre-built widgets. Now, everything in your app is a widget. So everything in your app is a widget. There are many widgets, and we'll talk about how to explore those widgets towards the end of the video. But everything in your app is a widget, from the text in your app to the app itself. The app itself is a widget. But to give you a better understanding, here is a beautiful app that we have. This is actually the app that we'll be doing by the end of Module 2. Now, let's start with all of the widgets present in this app. First of all, we have the app bar, this thing on the top that's blue. That's the app bar. That's a widget. Then we have all of these buttons. All of these buttons, those are all widgets because they are objects in your app that your user can interfere with or use and read. The app itself is a widget. This whole app is the widget, as I said. This is the main widget that holds all of these sub-widgets, app bar, all of the buttons, and etc. This is actually called a widget tree. We'll get back to that, don't worry. Then this text in the app bar is a widget. So this text is inside the app bar, and it's also a widget. Then we have this text over here, that's a widget. And then all of these texts inside the buttons are also widgets. Now, as you can see, in a simple app like this, there are many widgets. And actually, we're only looking at one type of widget in this app. There are actually two types of widgets. And those are the visible widgets, the ones we just talked about. Visible widgets are widgets that users can see and maybe interact with on the screen. So for example, this quiz app text, it's a visible widget because even though the users can't interact with it, they can read it, which is a type of interacting, and they can use it, they can see it. And these buttons they can interact with by pressing them. Those are visible widgets. But invisible widgets are widgets that help you align and organize your visible widgets in the app. So they help you organize your visible widgets in the app, like centering them, putting them in rows and columns, and etc. So there's actually many visible widgets in this application. Like for example, how do you think these buttons are all beneath each other? Do you think Flutter just did that? No, all of these buttons are inside a column widget, which helps put all of these buttons in a column. Now this button is inside a container widget, which helps contain it and center it. Do you see how this text is in the center? Now this text is not in a container widget, so do you see how it's not centered? And then how do you think these buttons can go through all of the screen? How do you think they're so wide? Well, they're also in a container widget. And how do you think this text is centered? All of that is in a container widget. So without these, our app would look horrible. The buttons would be small. There would be no alignment. It wouldn't be good at all. And widgets also have something called widget properties. Like these are basically, I'm pretty sure you get what they mean. They're just properties that a widget has. So for example, this button has to be blue. That's a widget property. This text is white, that's a widget property. This text is black, that's a widget property, and etc. Now in Flutter, as I said, you have all of these widgets, right? And you have to arrange these widgets in a certain way. And that's exactly how you build your UI. You create a widget tree, which basically tells the computer where each widget goes and where it is, what are its relationship with each other of the widgets. So for example, here's a simpler app. We just took out some of the buttons, but this would be the widget tree for this app. So you have the app itself, which is a widget, the main widget. And then inside the app, you have the app bar and the body. So this is the body and this blue thing is the app bar. So first let's get into the app bar. Let's code the app bar. Inside the app bar, we have the text widget. Let me get the laser point. We have the text widget over here, which is this quiz app over here. And then in the body widget, we have a column widget. That's a typo, I'm sorry. But we have a column widget, which allows us to put the what color is this on top, and then these two buttons on bottom. Those are the column widgets. And inside that, we have a text widget. And then over here, we have a container widget, which allows these buttons to span all over the body or the width of the screen. Then we have a button widget, which is the button itself. And then we have another container widget inside the button widget. And we have a text widget inside the container widget, which allows this text to be in the center. And then this button is the same thing. Now, yes, in Flutter, each widget is formed or created with some piece of code. So this would basically be all coded, text-based. But don't worry, it's not that hard. Once you get the hang of it, you'll master Flutter. So this is basically all it is. In order to create a Flutter app, you have to create a widget tree like this. It's as simple as that. Now, that is all about widgets. And as I said, there are thousands of widgets created by Flutter. And actually, new widgets are launched every week. Or they're launched. And so it's impossible for me to cover all of the widgets in this course. But if you want to learn about widgets, I would recommend going and checking out the pub.dev website, where you have access to all of the widgets in Flutter, and they're neatly organized so you can look at them. And there's also a YouTube channel called Flutter, in which they have a series called Widget of the Week, which in every week, it gives you a cool widget that you can use in your app, which I would also recommend. Both links to this series and website will be in the description. And I also have a challenge for you. I'll give you a picture of an app, and like this, I want you to create a diagram of the widget tree. And after you're done with that, don't forget to email me. The email will be down in the description if you want to check it out. If you want me to check it. But that is all for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something about widgets. In our next video, we'll talk more cool things about Flutter, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. And if you like the video, go ahead and like it. All useful information will be in the description. If you have any questions or comments, that will go down in the comment section. Thank you for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.